Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, welcome to my channel. My name is Micah and today I'm going to be doing a full face of Catrice for you. I've been doing these full face videos now for the past couple of months and I really enjoy doing them. Catrice is one of my favorite affordable drugstore brands and I just thought I could whip all of my favorite products together and do a video for you with a full face of Catrice. I've put some newer products in here, but also a couple of old favorites. But I also have a bit of a first impression for you because I got my hands on the new limited edition Minnie Mouse and Daisy Duck palettes. I ordered these off of a German website that ships internationally called Cosmetic for Less. It's like spelled in German, so I'll make sure to link it down below. They ship internationally. It came here super quickly. And after that, I also stopped looking whether they would be coming to the Dutch drugstores because they should be coming here as well. But if you're not in Europe and you do want to order these, then if that website still has them, they ship worldwide as far as I know. So that would be an opportunity to get them. So I'm going to be doing an eye look combining these two. And then we are also going to be doing like some primer and powders and all that. I am a bit of a bad YouTuber, I realized, because there are two products that I could have used that are missing. And that's a eyeshadow primer. Catrice do a really nice eyeshadow primer called the Eye Foundation. I like the matte one. They also used to do a pearly finish. I'm not sure if that's still around. And they do a pretty good makeup fixing spray, the Prime and Fine, just like the standard multi-talent spray, I think. So I'm just going to be using the products that are currently in my Shop My Stash, because that's what I have. So yeah, if I would have been a good YouTuber, I would have gone out and purchased those products specifically for this video. But I completely forgot, and I didn't realize it until I actually was like, oh, I was grabbing all the products, so I was like, oh, I don't have those. But I hope you don't mind. Just so you know, Catrice Eye Foundation and their multi-talent fixing spray are two of my favorite products as well. Let me just get started, and we're gonna get started with the Glow and Care Primer. This is a fairly recent product that they started doing, and I put this already in another video, which I will link in the eye above, where I used it alongside the Essence Hydrating Primer that I just used up. And I put both primers on one side of my face, and they were very comparable in how they wore. So if you would like to see how this primer performs, then I would recommend watching that video. This is a fairly nice primer, but I decided to go in with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer for this month's Shop My Stash, but I will probably be using this once that one runs out, because this is really nice. It has a bit of a glowy finish, which I always like in the spring and summertime. Actually, I prefer it even more in the wintertime, actually, because in the wintertime, I can look pale. I know that the lighting is going in and out a lot. I hope... Wait. Is this better? I'm not sure. So that's it for that primer. I'll be using the Essence You Better Work eyeshadow primer. As I mentioned, I forgot to get my hands on a Catrice one. All right, and then we are going to be using a BB cream for my base. I was thinking, shall I go in with my favorite sort of hydrating radiant foundation that they do? So they do their HD liquid foundation, but they also came out with a radiant one, but that has since been discontinued and it wasn't released very widely. So that's why I'm opting to go for this. This is the Hydro BB cream in what shade? Light. This only comes in 2 shades, so it's not the best, but I did already use it once or twice just to test it out. And it has a really nice texture, actually. This is really liquidy and it's got a pretty good shade as well. So I'm just going to be applying this all over for a bit of a lightweight base. And this has a fairly pleasant smell. It does smell a bit like, you know, that baby sort of scent. So I think this does have like a fair amount of fragrance in it. And that is something that you do have to be careful with if you're sensitive to that kind of thing. This is, of course, a BB cream, not a foundation, so you don't get a whole lot of coverage from it. So that's why I want to go in with one of my favorite all-time concealers, and that is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage. I have this in Natural Rose 007, and this is a shade they started doing a little later on. I used to use, I think, Ivory 005, but this has more of a pinky undertone, so that works a bit better for me. But yeah, this is just one of my favorite concealers from the drugstore. And I tend to like drugstore concealers for the most part, more so than foundations usually. And this is just a really nice one. This is for me one of my top favorite concealers, together with the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. Those are like my two all-time favorites. So I'm very happy that I still that I can go back to this one for this video. So that is the concealer all blended in, and I think that this makes for a very pretty, sort of lightweight base. It's not too cakey, not too heavy. Works for me. For powder, I'm going to be using a new powder because that's the one that they're doing now. But their Prime and Fine Transparent Matte Powder, if you can find that, the waterproof one, that is one of my favorites. Maybe it's still around where you live, but they've replaced it with this where I live, so that's why I want to use it. This is the 5-in-1 setting powder, and to be quite honest, I think this is the exact same powder as they used to do, but in different packaging. So that's why I say I really don't think you really need this one if you still have the old one or something like that. This is exactly the same powder. And what this is just a white sort of setting powder. And this is like, of this powder, like I think I've used up like 3 or 4 of these. This is one of my favorite drugstore powders. It's lightweight, it doesn't look cakey, it works on my dry skin. It's excellent. And I have felt that whenever I've used this, it has performed exactly the same way as the old one. So I think that the product itself is still the same, but they've decided to call it something differently. Then I would like to move on to brows. And for brows, I have a very new product and an old favorite. And the new product is the Brow Pen Pro, and this is part of their new line. This is in the shade Ash Blonde, and it has this like teardrop kind of sort of pencil. I'm not sure if you can see that very well, but it has a teardrop kind of thing. And then that makes it super easy to use. It's very similar to like those triangular things that you also have. This is quite soft. It's a bit of a waxy texture, but I have to say that I quite like this. I think that when I use up my Essence one that I'm currently using, I will probably go in with this because it is fairly nicely done. And I have to say that Catrice is doing different brow pencils all the time, and generally their brow products are actually quite good quality. They don't come in a ton of shades, and I've only like 1 or 2 things by them that I've tried were real duds to me. Like they did this comb thing, I think about a year ago. That was a disaster. That hurt to use, and it wasn't very pigmented, and that didn't really work. But this one I really like, and it comes with a really nice little brush. It doesn't have a spoolie, and this brush makes it super easy to sort of comb through your brows and to sort of diffuse the powder even more, the pencil. Because it's not a powder, but it feels like really soft, and this way you can just smooth it out a little bit more. I thought that was very fun and a lot more effective actually than a spoolie. So even if that product runs out, I may just keep this around and put it with my makeup brushes just so I have that little brush. And then I have the Eyebrow Filler by Catrice, and this is one that I used up before in the past. This is in the shade, what shade are you in? Do we have a shade? 020, that's all I get here. There's no other shade on this, but it's like the blonde one, light to medium. And I used one of these up completely in the past. It has a fairly large wand, which is not my favorite anymore. So I think I've moved on from this in terms of like favorites. But again, if you need a brow gel and you want to stick to Catrice, then this gets the job done and it works really well. So that's a lovely eyebrow gel. Then we're moving on to face products, and I'm going to be using a couple, like I've cobbled something together. Catrice bronzers were never really great. I struggled for years to find a good bronzer by the brand. They were always very orangey or way too dark or very muddy on me. So I tried a ton, didn't like them. I ended up only really be able to use one of their limited edition bronzers for years, which was a really nice bronzer actually, but I ended up decluttering it because they now do this. And this is the Clean ID Mineral Bronzer in Light Medium 010. And this has a yellow undertone. And I love a bronzer that has a yellow undertone. Not orange, not red, not pink, but yellow. And this may be a little bit too dark for me right now, because I feel this works best on me in the summertime. I think this came out last summer and then it was perfect. So now it may be a bit weird on me, but I think that since I now did catch a bit of sun, oh wow, like the sunburn is in my hairline. That always happens to me. Does anybody have any tips for that apart from wearing a hat? Because when it's hot, I like to wear my hair up and then I can't wear a hat. So it's a bit of a conundrum for me to figure out how to not only keep my face protected, but also my hairline. Because I can't put sunscreen here, you know? Doesn't work. All right, so that's the bronzer, and I think that already works a lot better for me than it did a few weeks ago. So I always find that around this time of year, my skin tone starts to, well, not my skin tone, but just sort of the, like what products look well on me just kind of changes a little bit throughout the year, I feel. For highlighter, the Luminize Highlighter and Blush Glow Palette. I believe they do a couple of shades of this. I picked up the lightest one, and this highlighter, this first one, does it have a name? Just called Highlighter. That shade is really, really gorgeous. I decluttered all of my Catrice single highlighters over this one. That's how good it is. I hardly ever reach for palettes, but this is such a gorgeous highlight. You see that? Boom. Highlight. Same thing here. Oh, now it goes a bit dark. If I put the brush onto my face, oh no. Yeah. So it has just a really lovely shine to it. And it's a little bit powdery, but it's super easy to use. I think this palette has some of the best highlighter quality that Catrice has ever done. Their 3D glow highlighters are also quite nice. They have that like very luxurious feeling gel to powder kind of texture, like Dior does sometimes as well. So I think that that's a good one too. But I feel that the shades they do in that, the only one I can really wear is the icy white, and I don't always like a very icy white highlighter. I only like that very, very sparingly. So this sort of more like champagne-y shade I feel goes really well with my complexion. It doesn't lay on the skin. This doesn't show off any added texture or anything that you might have. It's a stunning product. Another stunning product. Their blush boxes. This is the glowing and multicolor type. They also have ones that are just one solid color, but I really like these mosaic ones, and they do two of them. This is the peachy one called Dolce Vita, and they also do like a plummy mauvey one called It's Wine O'Clock. And this one, oh man, I went to town with this one when I first started using it. And this is just, again, I've decluttered all of my other Catrice blushes and only kept these two because this is just stunning. And these just, especially this peachy shade, just adds just enough color where I feel it is just super flattering on the skin. And where some peachy tone blushes, for instance Milani Luminoso, which was in my Shop My Stash last month, just was a bit much on my complexion for right now. But this is just super wearable and a really nice peachy shade that will suit a lot of people. The only thing I don't like about this is that there's no magnet, no closure, no nothing. So I'm not sure if you can see that, but I already gouged part of it out with my nail when I tried picking it up, and it just like flipped open. So this may be one that if you travel with it, you may want to put a hair tie around it or something like that just to make sure it's safe. Then we're moving on to eyes right now, so I'm quickly going to double prime my lids and then I'll be right back. Right, so let's talk about these two. So I already mentioned these in a new makeup releases video that I was going to try and track these down. At the time, the information said that these would be out over here in May. But then Catrice started promoting these on their Instagram, and then I asked and they replied for once. For once, Catrice replied to one of my questions. And they said, no, they should be out for March. And I was like, okay. So I kept track of these, like whether they would pop up on the drugstore website, but currently our drugstores over here are overloaded because everybody's ordering from them. And I'm currently self-isolating as well, so I'm not really feeling like going to all these different drugstores trying to find eyeshadow palettes. So I was keeping an eye out for these online, and I sort of like checked websites every single day to see if I could find them anywhere. I got these from a German website that ships internationally, which I will link down in the description box. And these are the Minnie and Daisy limited edition palettes. And I just think these are super stunning. This collection also comes with some nail polishes, and Catrice has come out with a full line of new matte liquid lipsticks. But since I still have to try the Essence liquid lipsticks that they started doing, I figured that I could sort of wait with that video for a bit, but that I think I would like to do as well. But the Minnie palette is just really, really stunning and gorgeous. Look at, like, I just really like the design of it. It's really nice and cute and curated. And then you get a little mirror and you get 9 shades. And the Minnie palette is the more warm toned one, so you get some really, really gorgeous like berry shades in this actually. But like if you just look at this quad, then it's super neutral. One thing I would like to show you, I will insert a picture of the swatches I took, but one shade in particular right here in the bottom called Loving. It looks like a red, right? Look at that pigmentation. Look at how much I can drag that down. That's amazing. This is not a very expensive palette at all. And then if I turn it, it's a shimmer. It doesn't really show up very well on camera. But this shade is a berry tone. Let me see if I can build it up a little bit. Then it will perhaps show up a bit better. So I tried building up the top here a little bit. But it has an orange flip. This shade has to go onto my lid like ASAP. And then we have the Daisy Duck palette, and this is a bit more cool toned, and it's got these really gorgeous mauvey and plummy shades. This purple shimmer here called Diva. Again, stunning. Stunning. Oh, again, with this as well, you get like 4 of these very neutral shades, and you get quite a good number of mattes in both of these. I think that the Daisy Duck one has 3 shimmers and maybe like 1 satin, and everything else is matte. And in the Minnie, you get 4 shimmers. So I think that this is a really, like, this just looks and feels so well done that I was like, I have to show these off in a video and just play around with these. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. I will do the look, speed you through it, like a time lapse of me doing the makeup, and then I'll talk you through what I actually did at the end. So I'll zoom you in for a minute. All right, so I finished the look. I quickly topped it off with mascara, which I'll discuss with you in a minute. But I have to say, you guys, I am pretty impressed with the quality of these two little palettes. I managed to use, let me see, I put Lazy in the crease from the Daisy Duck palette. And then I put Diva and Dazzling and also Jolly, like these three shades are on my lower lash line. I of course wanted to try and make an effort to really use as many shades as I could. And then, ooh, I'm sticking my finger in. Cheery, this shade I use as a bit of a liner for my top lash line. But I really like how these three purpley shades play together on my lower lash line. I was really able to sort of go from darker to like more vibrant to lighter. And it also pairs well with some of the shades that are in here. From the mini palette, I used 4 shades. I used Witty as a blend shade all around to really make sure that the crease and all around the look, everything looks nicely and diffused. Feisty is what I used in my outer V to deepen that up a little bit. And then I used Cheerful in the inner corner, but Loving is what's all over my lid. And this is such a unique shade. I don't think I have anything like this. As I was putting it on, and I think you would have to foil it to make it really look that way, it doesn't just have an orange flash, it also has a pinky pool. So it's not even a duochrome, this is like a multi-chrome almost. It's not a very strong multi-chrome, I have to say. But in the pan, this just looks like a red shade. And then you put it on, and then it has this orange and pinky flip to it, and it's such an interesting one to wear, and I think it works really well all over the lid like this. This is a really unexpected find in this little palette here, and I have to say that of course right now I'm using these together for the sake of the video, but I think that if you just look at these like by itself, like if you just look at this one, I think that's a really nice neutral palette with a pop of purple, and this is a really stunning palette with a pop of red. Love it. So Catrice, good job. Really, really, really well done. Let's talk mascara, because I was using my Maybelline mascara, the Falsies Lash Lift, which is currently like one of my favorites. But I always top off my mascara with this. And I've never tried a Catrice mascara that I like on its own, like I do with Essence. But this Catrice Glam & Dole, like blue packaging, waterproof volume mascara, I like to top things off for a number of reasons. My lashes are naturally quite long, so I don't need to curl them, I don't need to do much to them, I just need to put on a volumizing mascara and I'm good to go. The problem is that volumizing mascaras on me tend to smudge, flake off, they just don't stay put very well. So what I like to do is that I like to use this, and I'll see if I can show you the wand. This is what the wand looks like. So it's a very sort of short, spiky, rubbery kind of thing. And what that brush does is that it really combs through your lashes. So I always find that volumizing mascaras can also be a bit clumpy. And I definitely had a bit of clumpiness going on this eye when I first put this one on. But I always feel that this sort of works as like a comb through kind of situation, and then I use this solely on my lower lash line because this is one of the very few mascaras that I've ever found, even waterproof ones, that just stay put, that don't smudge, that don't make me look like a panda. I have topped off so many mascaras with this one over the past couple of years, and it always works. It works with every mascara. It just, like, if Catrice were to discontinue this, I'm gonna stock up on it because this is a product, it's one of those products that I can't live without. You know what I mean? This is holy grail status right here. And then I have one more product, and that is a lipstick. I love Catrice lipstick. I could have chosen from so many, but I decided to go with something a bit more recent, and I did go with a red, so I'm not sure if that's good. I'm not sure it will go with the eye look, but I'll just give it a whirl. I love Catrice lipsticks, you guys. I have a couple from their older lines that have since been discontinued that are still good to go, that have been in my collection for years. Catrice lipstick, like I remember back in the day, the brand to go to for nail polish and lipstick that was affordable but still really good was Catrice. And the nail polish I'm not so sure about anymore. I really feel that their quality has gone down over the years, at least when I was still really into nail polish. I felt that the quality was going down, but their lipsticks. Catrice lipstick. If you have never tried a Catrice lipstick, make it your goal. I really like their Ultimate Matte line, if you can still get that. The Demi Matte line is really nice too, but they've now come out with the full Satin line. And this is like a cream lipstick, and this red, it's so gorgeous. Okay, so that was about the shoddiest lipstick application I've done in a long time. Somehow I just couldn't get it on very precisely. But this is such a nice vibrant shade. I think it actually goes pretty okay with the look. I just don't think the purple really goes with it. I think that if I had just done a neutral look with that vibrant shade on my lid, this would have worked a bit better. But this is such a stunning, like, vibrant, poppy shade. This is 070, and the shade name is called Full of Love. Yeah, Catrice Lipsticks and me. If you've seen my makeup reorganization video, then you know that I have an entire cubby with just Catrice lipsticks. I have more Catrice lipsticks than I do MAC, Urban Decay, Bite Beauty. Like, all of the high-end brands that I love, that I have quite a few by, I have more by Catrice. Not only because I try a lot of their lines, but also that once I've tried them, I also want to hang on to them because they just have such great quality. So Catrice Lipsticks is also where it's at for me. So if I were to recommend anything, like, the eyeshadow palettes I think are really lovely, but perhaps very difficult to find. In terms of, like, products that you will probably be able to find no matter where you're at, if you can get Catrice, that I love, that are like staples, the concealer, the mascara, and their lipsticks. Like, if you try anything by Catrice, go for these three. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Leave me in a comment down below what is your favorite Catrice product, if you ever tried the brand, or which product you would like to try. I would love to know. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more by me. And I look forward to seeing you in one of my other videos, which go live on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, stay safe.